Is it possible to fail in agribusiness even after working as a donkey? Of course, yes. And not just fail, but completely crash. I've seen people with rich soil, bumper harvest, and even government support fail in their agribusiness because their businesses did not meet some certain conditions. If your agribusiness doesn't meet these 5 future-proof criteria, then you're just building a time bomb with leaves on top. So it's very important for you to stick with me to the end of this video so that you not end up planting pain but planting profit. And what does it take for your agribusiness to be future-proof and to be able to last even to the nearest future? The first criteria that's very, very important for you to know is that your agricultural business or your agribusiness must be solving a real problem, not just existing for existing's sake. You just don't go into farming or into agro-commodities trading or into processing just because you love it or just because everybody's making money from it. If you do it like that, then it may not be able to last till the nearest future, because challenges are going to come, and it's only when you have a real problem in your mind that you are aiming to solve that people are willing to pay for. That's when you become a differentiator. That's when you become a differentiator in the market, in agriculture, or in any business space that you're in. You always want to be a differentiator, or you always want to have a unique selling position or a unique selling proposition in whatever thing that you're selling. You cannot just plant cassava or gari and think that, oh, everybody is planting cassava, so I just need to get into cassava space. People are making money from cocoa, so I should just rent a cocoa farm. If you're doing it like that, then you're not solving a real problem. You need to find out what was the problem before you get into production or into farming or into agro-commodities trading or whatever. If some people are buying things in a place like agro-commodities trading from a particular region, and then you notice that they are not paying on time, you can decide that, okay, I want to start trading and then paying these people on time. I want to make this process of purchase of this particular agro commodity easier for the person who is buying it. So you take money from that person and go to interior areas and buy it. So in that way, that person is willing to pay you because you are solving his problem, or you are solving his problem. When you are solving his problem, there are other people who are like that too, because he's willing to pay you. So there may be somebody else who is also willing to pay you for something like that. But if you're just farming because you just want to make money from it, and then because everybody's making money from it, that's not a real problem that you are providing. Let's say people are now it's taking people a lot of time to carry their banga from a particular farm to the next mill and things like that. You can set up a mill in the middle, or you can make the logistics process easier for them. That's how you think as a business person and make your agribusiness to be future proof. You don't just join in or start farming something because everybody is farming it. You start farming cassava because mama is farming cassava, or you start farming corn because you saw that your brother made X money from corn farming, so you decide that, okay, you want to just start planting corn for no reason at all. So whatever thing you are planting must be solving a particular problem for somebody. If you discover that a buyer is always having a difficult time entering interior areas or interior villages and things like that, you can speak with the buyer and with that buyer and tell them that, okay, I see that you're having tough time entering into this area. Let me be your eye in this area. Let me start buying these things for you and sending it to you, and then keeping something on top. You understand? So that's how you think about how you can start solving real life problems and then ensuring that your agribusiness is future proof. You don't just want to farm because everybody is farming. But let's say, for example, in a particular country, you have different goods that the country is looking to import because the production of that goods in their country is not enough. You can start producing that goods in the country if it's legal and things like that, or if it's allowed. You can start producing that good in that country and looking for ways to maximize or to expand or to increase the production of that particular commodity in that country, so that it can assist your country. In that way, your country sees that, okay, yes, you are producing goods in this country, and then they decide to invest in you because you're now helping them and reducing the level of import which is coming into the country. So you're now making it easier for them and feeding local consumption. So I'll take, for example, when you see in the news lately, you see that farmers are now dumping rice cultivation and then maize farming because of the high level of input cost in terms of fertilizers and the rest, and the logistics cost. You think about how can you make these fertilizers, what is making these fertilizers to be much more expensive for farmers, and how can you come in in that process? How can you make these fertilizers to be cheaper for farmers? Then you start thinking about it, and then once you find the solution to that problem, then you can start keeping big money or bigger profits for yourself, and such way that business can be future proof and can last for a very, very long time, because you're now producing something you're solving a particular problem for a particular set of people. So don't just go about planting, or you see that people are buying palm oil. Oh, let me just buy palm oil and then start selling. You have to find the problem. Maybe you see that somebody is doing has a restaurant, and then she doesn't get access to palm oil and she sells in bulk, or she's cooking food in large quantities. You can go up to her and say, okay, I want to solve this particular problem for you. Meet restaurants in those areas, and then you want to supply them palm oil because they are finding it difficult to go to far villages or far mills and then to get this thing by themselves. They're solving a particular problem for somebody. So always think about what problem can I solve in this particular area that I am in that can make me to keep money for myself. And you do all those things because your business needs to have a unique selling proposition. You don't just want to come and then be like everybody else. In that way, you can easily put aside or be like number 100 in terms of who they want to call in case they have a problem. So that's the first thing. Make sure that your business solves a particular problem for a particular set of people before you call it a business. The second point is that your agribusiness must be placed along a value chain. Don't ever start planting if you don't already have who is going to buy. Don't ever start buying any particular product that you want to resell if you don't have who is going to buy from you. You have to understand this value chain, and if you don't have who you are going to buy from. Now, understanding the value chain is about knowing how the goods we get from the farmer, if you're not the farmer, or from the soil to the final consumer. You have to understand all these things properly. You have to know each person that's involved or each stakeholder in that particular value chain. For example, you are planting corn. You know who is going to buy it. You already have some customers, but you've seen people who are buying those kind of things like that. So you already have who is going to buy. You understand the roadmap to that area. You understand what the logistics is about. If you have to pay any security, if you have to pay any community or anything like that, you need to know who you are supposed to pay at every point in time. You know how much it takes to produce all those things or to get that corn from that particular farmer. You know how the roadside, how the journey to that farm is. You know the road network and things like that. Now you buy those goods if you're just an agro commodity trader, or if you're just trading corn. You meet the farmer and say you want to buy the corn, and then he gives you, because you already understand all the process and all the things like that. You know who to pay, you know who not to pay. Then you pay those people, and then you move it from that location, and then whatever location that is needed, whether it's a processing mill or to a particular customer or a particular consumer, you meet that consumer and say, yes, I've now brought the product. I know that you also want to buy. I also sell, so take it. And then they take it. Easy for you. You don't want to plant things because you don't want to end up planting things like cassava, or you plant things like tomato or pepper and things like that, and then you plant it and they are looking for a customer, and then you're just waiting, and then there's no customer. You don't know who to buy or sell it to. Before you know, those things spoil. Your effort, your money, your resources, your time, everything wasted because you did not have a clear understanding of the value chain. So before I start any of my agri business, I always make sure that I always have a customer, know who is buying it, and if they are willing to pay you for you to keep a profit on top. You don't want to end up farming and then see that everybody's buying it at a cheaper rate than the level that you use in planting that particular crop. So very, very important for you, understand the value chain and know where you are positioned in it. Are you a processor? Are you a farmer? Are you the middleman? Are you the trader? Are you an aggregator? Are you the final consumer? So you have to know all these things so that you don't end up losing money. So for your business to be future proof, to be able to last the test of time, you must ensure that you are placed in a nice spot. In all my different businesses, I have customers who are ready to pay, even to pay, give like customer credit and things like that for me to go and buy different goods that I'm buying in my agro commodity business and things like that. So always ensure that you have someone who is going to buy and you have someone who are buying from, and ensure that the person who is ready to buy is ready to pay more than the person who you are going to buy from. Then understand all the processes in between. The next point, if your business or your agri business is to operate and to last the test of time or to endure the test of time, the next criteria if your agri business is to endure the test of time is that your agribusiness must operate independent of broken systems. Let me explain what I mean. For example, if you have a poultry farm, I think recently we saw that lots of birds died in a particular farm because there was power failure and things like that. So whatever agribusiness that you're having, you must ensure that your agribusiness does not depend on broken systems, because in agriculture there can be broken systems and you must always have backup. You understand what I mean? If there is insecurity in your area or around your farm, that's a dead trap. You don't want to go and plant in that place. Oh, land is free, come and plant in this place, come and farm in this place. We are giving our land free of charge, and then you go and farm there, and then you notice that there are always boys who are always kidnapping and things like that in that area. You just end up, they may even wait for you to finish farming, and when you farm finish now to harvest, It's now where the problem is. You can never send it to harvest just because the system is broken around that area. There's no good road network, there's no secure road network. So you must ensure that your agribusiness is stationed, or you are doing it where there is, ensure that you are doing your agribusiness independently of broken systems. For example, in our own location, we went to buy I think it was palm kernel in one particular area, and then that area was so, number one, it was very very far. Although it was cheap, the goods there were very cheap, and it was very very far from the main road. It was a very interior area, and that that was one of my biggest losses. And then no network, so you can't call for help in case of anything happens. You can't get food if people are tired. They cannot rest. There's no houses around those areas. There was no houses around there, so the boys because it's very far, it takes us a lot of time to get to those places, and by the time they get to those places, they're already tired. And then when they walk a little bit, they have to go back. So you can see we're blowing. Our logistics cost was very very expensive because we're now spending too much to get them there, and they were doing little work. And then we planned to spend like 3 days in that area. We ended up spending like 1 month in that area. So because we really invested in that area, it was a big loss for us. But the main point I learned from that is that your agribusiness at any particular point in time, whatever thing you are buying, you must ensure that it's independent of broken systems. If you are doing any work and it depends on your business, maybe fish pond or agribusiness or snail farm, and then it depends on maybe lighting, like for example poultry, and then there's no light again, what's going to happen? So in that kind of situation, you must ensure that you use solar powered, where you have control or full control of what happens in that your particular agribusiness. You don't want to just farm depending on somebody else, because it can fail you. For example, if you're having insecurity, you must ensure that you farm in places that there's security. Look for places that they have security or better security. You don't want your agribusiness to depend on just one individual or just one team member, because that team member can say it's not working again, and then he decides to leave, and then your agribusiness is dead. So in any particular time where you're having agribusiness, your agribusiness is working, you must ensure that there are different people for different roles, and each of them can be replaced at any point in time. You already have who you can replace any of them with, because any of them can decide to leave you, or they feel that they have full control and then decide they want to leave you. In that kind of situation, you must have full control of your agribusiness. Don't farm or don't do any agro-commodities trading where there are broken systems. Another situation of mine, I got my goods, and trailers were not willing to go to that area because of bad road network. And me deciding to go to that area, it was a big blow for me, because even the final trailer who decided to go into that place, because of his fear to falling or being stuck in the sand, he charged more, very large price. So what's my point? You must ensure that whatever thing you're doing is independent of broken systems. In case anything, there's a failure, the business can still carry on. It's very very important for livestock farmers, and generally for farmers. You must ensure that there's security, you must ensure that there's proper lighting, you must ensure that there's proper irrigation, you must ensure that there is logistics, you understand, to your farm, so that you don't end up planting or doing things that will make you not to see any profit from your business. The next criteria that is very important for you if your agribusiness is to be future proof is that your agribusiness must be scalable without you. Very very important, and that is one of the earliest things that I learned, because I learned this from Kiyosaki's book, Think and Grow Rich, and from his other books like Investing Like the Rich. You know, he always talks about a business moving from the from the left side to the right side, from the employee mindset to the business owner mindset. And one thing that's very very important is that your business must be able to run without you. But from day one, you've started building something like that. You're working in it. Even when you read the myths, Why Businesses Fail, you read books like Entrepreneurship Myths by Michael Garber, you see he talks about the importance of starting as a technician, moving to the entrepreneurial level and things like that. It's very, very important for you to be able to delegate different roles in your business. You don't want to end up start doing all the work. You farm, you take care of the cassava, you brush, after brushing, you plant, after planting, you're the one who is taking care of managing it and everything. After everything is you that is going to harvest. If during the time of harvest you fall sick, what's going to happen to your crops? At that point in time, you cannot delegate because there will be massive theft and things like that. So you want to start building your team members. Delegation must be possible, your systems must be teachable, and the operations can be scalable without you involved in those processes. You want to be able to farm without burning your life out. You don't want to burn yourself out, because agriculture is something that's very, very interesting. It's a business, you understand? And a business should be able to work even when you travel for a month or so. So you don't want to be the business. You want to be able to work on your business. You understand? You want to be able to work on your business and then let your business be able to grow without you. Even you can sleep and be making money. People are working in your business. All you have to do is just to come and then check and then to ensure that the processes went well for one cycle. You don't want to end up building a business that will kill you, because once you fall sick, that's going to affect you. So your business must be scalable without you. Start teaching your team members what they should do at every point in time. Each people that is involved in the production line or in the draw a value map in your business, how the commodity you're producing or that particular crop that you're farming, how it moves from the seed, from purchasing the seed to planting it, to putting fertilizers and manure and taking care of that crop to harvesting. Teach everybody that's involved in those processes, teach them how they must take care of their job if you're paying them. You understand? If you start small, yes, start small. Nobody's saying start big, but if you start small, you can start with one team member. Teach that team member to be able to help you and then increase. Of course, if it were only you're making 15 naira in profit. If you're now 2, you're expecting to make like 18 naira or 17 naira in profit. And when you're making 17 naira in profit, you can still bring one more person. In that kind of situation, you can start earning 18 naira in profit while you go to expand on another farm and then bring other people to start doing things with you. Of course, this is easier said on paper, but it's something that you must have in your mind and start working towards, because you don't want to end up farming and then burning out, because in the end, business is hard, and you want to be working on your business, not in your business. The next criteria that is very, very important for you, if your business is to be future proof and to last for a very long time, is that your business must have positive cash flow from day one. So many farmers do not understand cash flow. They don't understand the difference between cash flow and profit, revenue and profit. You understand operating income and then net profit and things like that, or net income. They don't understand the differences between all these things. They don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities and things like that, which is something that's very, very bad and dangerous. You must understand your business, understand everything, understand the gross profit and net profit and the difference between them. Because when you do the calculations for all your processes, you want to ensure that your business is in a profit on paper first before taking it to the real life. Because you don't want to farm. Let's say, for example, you start farming cocoa and you've not done the proper calculations to ensure that you're going to be profitable in it, or you start farming for cocoa and you've not had something that will be giving you some income at the side, and because you've taken loan and the cocoa is now on its way coming up, you're waiting for like 3 years or 4 years, and then it's coming up, and because of that 3 years period, or in the course of that 4 years period, you have nothing to cater for your family for and to pay up the interest on those loans which you've taken. You start borrowing more money to plant and things like that, and then on the 3rd year when you're supposed to start harvesting, because of the way the things have choked you up and things like that, you end up selling your cocoa farm even before it even starts bringing massive returns to you. So you must understand cash flow and then do all these things on paper and see how you're going to survive through all those processes that you are planning for yourself, because in the end you don't want to end up doing something that will be giving you pain, sleepless night and things like that. So if, for example, you want to go into palm oil trading, you understand, you want to buy palm oil and keep it and then sell at a later time. You buy palm oil, let's say in November or in January and things like that, or in February, and then you want to wait till around July to sell. When you buy at that point in time, you want to ensure that on paper you've calculated your costs, your input costs, what it's going to take you to buy the keg, to buy the oil, and then to store it and things like that, and then how much it is you're projecting to sell, at what price are you willing to sell, you understand, and what you will now do in between. How will you survive in between, in terms of what business are you going to be doing in between, or if you have a job already, how are you going to survive in between. And when you put all these things into consideration, ensure that your business, at the end of that sales cycle, the business is supposed to give you a profit, not just a revenue that may be a loss. You understand? So ensure that you always have things calculated in place. Ensure you always have things calculated in time. Always do a proper financial analysis of whatever agricultural business or sales cycle you want to venture into. Do them for your whole business and then do it for a period of time, let's say 5 years, and then do it for each market cycle that you're about to enter into. Like, just look at how much you're going to pay your workers, how much you're going to pay the the suppliers, or this, how much you're going to pay the suppliers, how much you're going to collect from the customers or people who are demanding for that particular agricultural commodity. You want to ensure that everything is done decently. You want to ensure that you have a profit at the end of that sales cycle, because you don't want to end up farming and they're not seeing any profit out of it. So understand that for your business to last, or to enjoy the test of time and to stay for a very long time, you must understand that cash flow is very important, and you must have cash flow, not just profit. Cash flow, not just revenue, on paper even before you start. So you must have that in place before you start your business. So yeah, the future belongs to those who have this agricultural mindset, and those who have this criteria in place even before they start their agricultural business, because you don't want to farm when you're not ready. You don't want to farm and then be at a loss. You don't want to just farm for farming's sake without providing a solution to somebody. You don't want to farm without understanding the value chain or positioning yourself in a particular value chain. You don't want to farm without a potential profit in mind, which is why all these points I've listed above are very, very important for you to have in place. And if you're just starting out in agriculture, and if you're just starting out in agribusiness, you want to come in as a farmer, a processor, a trader, and things like that, ensure that you click on the link in the description where you get my Agro Starter Kit, which is very, very important for beginners. In it, you get a free agribusiness manual that's going to guide you and help you not to make mistakes that I've made and so many other people have made in starting out their agribusiness. Ensure that you click on the link in the description. Get this link that was going to teach you about how you start and succeed in agricultural business, what you need to know to be a successful agricultural business. And if you found value from this video, ensure that you leave a like, ensure you leave a comment about how this video has helped you one way or the other, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel as we talk about different agricultural topics, and then we'll show you how to succeed in agriculture. Keep your notification bell on and share this video with as much people as possible, and I'll see you in the next video.